Okay, as long as it has enough power to stop Caesar where he stands, I'll be happy.
Hey, get your weapons.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week I checked out ROBOWAR, also known as BattleBots, and this 2018 film was directed by Mark Polonia and stars Danielle, Donahue, Marie DiLorenzo, and Jeff Kirkendale, among others of course. The story of this film takes place far in the future, where this fascist empire has taken over the Earth. And they also like to, modify themselves with cyborg parts. And they also love giant robots for some reason. They just say like they worship giant robots. I don't know. And then the main story itself does follow these kind of 4 freedom fighters as they want to fight the Empire. So they have to find their own giant robot and hopefully even fight the Emperor himself. What will happen though? Well, you have to watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this movie. Well, this is a Mark Polonia movie, so if you're unfamiliar with who he is, he's this notorious kind of B-movie maker, and he always makes movies with like a micro budget or no budget, and so the production side of things that way is always kind of very low quality, so you can't expect too much. With that being said, I thought all of the costumes were really good in this one. It's sometimes simple, like just like goggles and a mask and that type of stuff. And I thought that was so cool. The coolest mask is one where it has like 3 faces on it. So it has like 2 faces and then the guy's regular face. And I thought that one was so cool. The main character has like this robot mask with like a loop on it. There's, monkey men masks in the background and that type of stuff. So all of that works. They even have like these giant robot suits. Of course, it's just a regular sized guy in it, but all of that kind of costume with the robots definitely works as well. So the production level is pretty good on this one. I will say that. In addition, with this one, it has a fun story, very kind of straightforward story as well. It's just, find giant robots, fight giant robots. That's lots of fun. With some of these Mark Polonia movies, sometimes the story is hard to comprehend, but not this one. Very straightforward, so that is pretty good. Other than that, with this one, and to my relief, the ADR is actually really good in this one. So all of the line quality is pretty good, all the sound quality is pretty good, you can hear everything. And so that is, again, to my relief, because I've seen some of his other movies where it has not been the case. It's really hard to understand people sometimes. But this one's done very well. Same with the editing in this one, very, competently put together. You can understand it perfectly fine. And so all of that stuff works. So very competent one from Mark Polonia this time. Oh, and then I thought there was just a bunch of fun things to it. Like, why is the Empire like giant robots? It's never explained. They have like a title crawl at the beginning or story crawl at the beginning, and they say it's just like what they like, so that's what they use to fight. I just thought that was kind of funny. And it has a bunch of funny other things as well, like why does this guy have 3 faces? That's never explained, and a bunch of other things like that. So yeah, it's just kind of a few funny moments in there that definitely adds to the charm of this movie. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this film. Well, I know I just said the editing was pretty good, but at the same time, this robot fight, man, the way it's edited, you get to see the same fight 3 different times. So you can see it once at the beginning and then something happens and then they show it again and you're like, oh, maybe it's just like the robots are programmed that way and something different will happen at the end. But then they just show it a 3rd time and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, didn't you have any time to film something else with these costumes? If you had the costumes, just do an extra little fight thing. So it's very kind of strange that way. And so by the 3rd time, you're just like, I don't know. Would you like to see this fight 3 times? And so that was kind of very, his style, the very low budget style. You only have so much footage to work with, right? So that is an issue for people who probably aren't, familiar with him. For me, it's not the biggest issue, but it's something I did notice. Let's see, what else can I say? Well, of course, it's that micro budget. I know some people probably look at that as amateurish. With Mark Polonia, he's done so many that he's kind of perfected the art of the micro budget. I would actually say this is one of his better ones. I've seen quite a few of them. And this one, definitely straightforward, easy to understand. It's just that robot fight that kind of really drags it down. So yeah, it's not that bad for what it is. So who would I recommend this movie for? Well, if you're a low-budget sci-fi fan, this is probably going to be up your alley. If you're a Mark Polonia fan, totally check this one out. It's one of his better ones in my opinion, and yeah, I think that's probably going to be the main audience. So yeah, check it out if you want. As for rating, well, this might be a surprise, but I'm going to give it the okay score of 4. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.